I always knew I wanted to do something in this space.
People are not really passionate about creating
experiences.
people who are trying to get into this business. What kind of investments do they look at?
There's a lot of hard work that goes.
That's when I set up PCO.
We've got 21 restaurants and bars across the country.
You never can really accurately predict exactly how a project will go.
13 years ago, I didn't know that much about cocktails, to be very honest.
India Cocktail Week, bro, that's been a monster.
I don't think of it as a job. It's more of a lifestyle. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
You would like your son and your children to be part of the business.
Welcome to Evolve Podcast. Today I'm with a great friend and a serial entrepreneur who's built businesses after businesses. He's got 21 bars and restaurants. He's got India Cocktail Week. I'm sure you've been there. And he's got this Pistola Tequila. What's up, brother? Good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. Pistola Agavepura. Not tequila.
Pura. All right. Rakshay, I think I know you for almost 15 years. And we met at the spa, at the 7 Seas Spa, and we were figuring out, okay, let's do something together. Rohit was also there.
Yes.
That's how I met you for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think, thank God it didn't work out because you ended up opening 21 outlets. Tell me, how did you pivot from spas and wellness to bars and restaurants? How did that happen?
Well, bars and restaurants have always been a big passion of mine. And, you know, I always knew I wanted to do something in this space. I just didn't have maybe the courage or the inclination to jump into it. But then in 2012, I think maybe 3-4 years after we met, I was like, listen, now it's, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I want to do my passion project. And that's when I set up PCO in 2012. And yeah, since then, we've just been reinvesting all our profits. And yeah, now we've got 21 restaurants and bars across the country.
That's amazing, bro. Speakeasy Bar wasn't that famous back then, right? And how did that come into existence? Was it like you saw the place and you're like, okay, let's make this place a speakeasy bar? Or like you had an idea and then you looked for a place?
So, you know, I wanted to do a nightclub actually. Wanted to bring Whiskey Mist from London into India.
I remember Whiskey Mist was the thing
exactly.
back then.
I just couldn't find the right location for it. We looked at Moria Sheraton. We looked at a bunch of different hotels. No one wanted to take the chance on it. And then I live right next door to here, and then this location came up, and that's when I was like, you know, we pivoted the entire concept. Forget this whole nightclub thing. And today nightclubs are dead, and speakeasy bars are thriving. So, you know, good hindsight, good decision.
No, it was like the rage. Like PCO, I think has been probably one of the most successful places in Delhi.
Thank
I
you.
can think of Summer House. I can probably think of Diodona.
Of course.
I can probably think of PCO, and
Yeah.
I don't know any other bars that has been there constantly being successful, constantly being right up there. The idea that I loved was that, you know, you were serving popcorn with the drinks. I don't know if you still do that.
We still do.
You still do that?
That's one of our signature items. It's part of the DNA of PCO. So that'll never go away.
Yeah. So tell me, like, how did you come up with the cocktails? What did the research went through? What was the deep dive into the whole cocktail experience? How did that happen?
So, you know, 13 years ago, I didn't know that much about cocktails, to be very honest. But I did have a good eye at identifying great professionals in this space. Vaibhav Bose really set the foundation. And we got on board, you know, people like Vicky, who are still with me till today, 13 years later, Manu and the team, Annie, all the boys from the original team, Rahul, everyone, you know, is they're kings of their realms today in so many different places, so many different countries, and all across this country as well. It's just so that original OG pre-opening team of ours is just a dream team. I like to call these guys.
So when was this that PCO happened, and when was the next bar, the next restaurant, and how did Pings, how did SAZ, how did Jamun, the whole storytelling, how did all that happen?
So, we started off with PCO, a small speakeasy bar, and then we, went to the next level with ATM. We thought, okay, let's do a private members club. After that, I was like, oh, I'm done with all this exclusivity mumbo jumbo. And then I was like, I want to do a family restaurant. That's how Pings came about. And back then, getting great Asian food that was, street style Asian food, but in a healthy avatar that did not exist. And apart from Pings, there are very few places that actually do this kind of food. So that's when we did Pings, and then a location right opposite Pings came available, and that's when we conceptualized Jamun. Then Piku, my chef partner, and I traveled to the US. We had a pop-up in the US, and then that's when we, after that trip, we were just so inspired by American cuisine. That's how we came up with SAZ. And so yeah, everything has just been a reflection on from drawing inspiration from my travels, and and that's how we just create new concepts.
What was the time in your life which changed everything? Like, was it PCO, or was it some other project that was like from there was no looking back? What was that project?
It was probably PCO. I think the success that PCO saw initially and still sees really changed the entire my outlook into what I should be doing with my life. And I had so much fun, and I still have so much fun doing what I do. I would never ever trade it for the world. It's just too much fun. Sure, there's a lot of hard work that goes down behind the scenes, and you can tell by my eyes that there are a lot of late nights and early mornings and stuff like that, but it's all I don't think of it as a job. It's more of a lifestyle, and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, I think when you love something, it's not really work, right?
Exactly.
It's fun for you, and the fun only increases with time because you know your details, you know your finer things, and you know where to make an effort and focus on, and the things will go the way you want them to.
Yeah.
Coming back to the bars, if let's say you open a bar, what are the 5 things you see when you want to open it, and that takes the decision that, okay, yes, I want to do this project, no, I don't want to do this. What are those 5 things that you look at?
I think the most important is the location. That really can make or break. You can put the best product in a bad location and it will not do well. So I think location plays the most important factor. Then also, what is the theme? What is the type of establishment you're setting up? Apart from that, there's price points, there's service etiquette, there's so many different there's the kind of music you play. Everything has to revolve around the theme of that, the concept. And that concept needs to be so well married in with the location that you choose. So all these factors play a huge role in the success of a bar or restaurant.
All these late nights you're talking about and all the things you do, does it take a toll on your family life?
It always does. But then you try to just balance it out, no matter what. I'm in office by 10, I leave by 6. I go home, I spend those hours with my kids. I wake up early, I spend the early morning with my kids before they go to school. I think that's very important. And then with my wife, she's very understanding. She's very accommodating.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart.
Let's put it that way.
I was at your wedding,
Yeah.
and I know her since then, and even before that.
Yeah.
And she's very understanding.
Yeah.
I think she balances you well.
Absolutely. No, you can't have two of the same person, right? A relationship has to, there's always a little bit of give and take in all relationships.
Tell me, is it really true that a man's success female in the life is really important?
Oh, absolutely. You know, because they're your rock at the end of the day. They're who ground you. You know, they're the ones who give you inspiration, who you enjoy. You go through life with them. We were celebrating our 10-year anniversary actually in San Sebastian in Barcelona.
Congratulations,
And
man.
yeah, and it's eating all these different interesting cuisines. I wouldn't ever you really enjoy someone's company, and you can still get inspired work wise while having someone with you. I think that's very important.
You know, we were talking about COVID times, how difficult it was. Like, for me, wellness, restaurant, we were all in the same boat. Things
Yeah,
were tough,
we
right?
took a
And
beating then.
we were the first one to close and the last ones to open.
Yeah.
And those 2-3 years, probably we had to really self-reflect and see where the hell we are, what we want to do ahead.
Exactly.
Right? So, at that moment, a strong partner is very important, right?
Yeah.
Has it ever happened that you were like, I don't think I can do this anymore, or I don't know if I can do this, and she was there? And do you have a instant that you remember that really happened, something like that?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't that much like that. Our first child was about a year and a half. We were busy just being parents and trying to keep the family safe, and not really thinking too much about work that I'd do on my own. I think she was a new mom, and just we were just trying to keep the family safe, and COVID-free household basically. Yeah.
Nice. So now let's say someone wants to open a cocktail bar, or someone wants to open Jamun or SAZ. What should he have, and what should he be prepared for to open a place like this?
So, the initial excitement of opening a place is great, and the initial enthusiasm, everyone likes to do this. But in 3 months' time, it's not just about being there on the floor, smiling at guests, entertaining your friends, having a jolly good time. It's about understanding P&Ls, it's about understanding food costs, understanding menu matrices, understanding a lot. There's a lot that goes into, it's F&B is art and science mixed in one. So the art part is the fun stuff, but there's also a science behind it,
Yeah.
and you need to understand that science to be able to thrive at the art stuff. And when you get a good marriage of the two, that's when you have a successful product.
So now that you have multiple places, do you think that you have improved your ROI every time you open a project, or every place is different and every place has a different nature, and ROIs can be A, or it can be Z, or it can be anywhere?
Oh, it totally depends.
Yeah?
Yeah, new location, completely new ROI, and hypothetically on your business plan you could be showing something, but what reality is
Yeah.
might turn out much better or much worse,
Yeah,
even
of course,
sometimes, right? So you never can really accurately predict exactly how a project will go. Some really take off, some not so much. Luckily, in the entire time I've been doing this, we've never had to shut down a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'd invested some in one restaurant, but where I wasn't the major
Operational
Yeah, I wasn't the
person,
operational person. That shut down. But apart from that, all the stuff that we've done under Passcode Hospitality, nothing is shut.
Bro, I think this I learned with my past experience, that I only want to invest on myself. Wherever I have thought of doing where I'm not involved, that has, I don't know why, it's probably not worked out for me.
Yeah.
Because you have a very different expectation, and you expect things will work out the way you want them to, or
Yeah.
the way you want to work, that person should also work.
Yeah.
It's somehow never worked out for me.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, give me an example of any project where you thought, okay, 6 months we're gonna break even, and you probably broke even before that, or you were like, wow, how did that happen? Has it happened with you?
Yeah, I mean, PCO, Pings, Jamun, These are all brands that you get your initial capital expenditure back in roughly 2 to 3 years in the restaurant business. But when you get it back in like 6 months or sometimes even before, it's just like, whoa, okay, how did that happen?
How do I
that
count
happen?
my money now?
Yeah, how did that happen? But then, yeah, it's not all just laughing and counting your money. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and then when that hard work pays off, you just feel so. The gratification that you get is just so phenomenal that yeah, you're like, okay, on to the next one. Come on, let's do this again.
Yeah.
It's very tough to replicate that magic because that comes from above, probably. God knows.
No, I completely believe there's nothing called luck, man. I mean, because of the R&D that you did and because of the cocktails that you created and people experienced that, people appreciated that. That's why they came again. Like when I came to PCO first, I was like, oh, this is different. I'm going in the basement in this dark place and I had to put a code to get into it. And now I have this beautiful bar with this well thought of cocktails and I was like, this is amazing. So people could sense that. People see the hard work behind that. I think that really works out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming back to your another huge project, ICW, the India Cocktail Week.
Yeah.
Bro, that's been a monster. How do you do that? That you were like doing bars and restaurants and you were like, okay, wait a minute, this is not enough. I need more in my plate and let's do like a huge event with thousands of people. How did that happen?
So actually, two of my very close friends, Sharan and Akshat, came to me. They're like, listen, and they're in the event space. They're like, listen, there's no such thing as India doesn't have a cocktail week, where it becomes a full celebration of all things cocktails in a large scale event, and it's a great way for brands to actually interact with direct consumers. Our cocktail week is a very consumer focused event, and over those 2 days we get up to 15,000 people, sometimes even more, and it's a great platform for new brands like Pistola or Smoke Vodka to really interact with actual consumers, and you can do samplings. You can get people to try different cocktails. It's a fantastic medium for that. And when they came to me with the idea, I was like, oh yes, absolutely, we have to do this. Then in 2019, we did our first edition. It's been 5 years, or now 6.
6 years,
Yeah, we've completed 5 editions of India Cocktail Week, and we do it throughout the country. We do Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay. These are our main ones. Then we did Hyderabad this season. Goa we do every couple seasons. So yeah, it's going great. It's a really fun celebration of cocktails, I feel.
Coming back to all the customers that you have in different cities with all the different restaurants and bars, which is the customer base which is the most easy to please and which is the hardest to please?
I think Bombay's customer is the easiest to please.
Yeah.
People there are just so busy with their everyday lives. Everyone's, working hard. The hustle is on in Bombay. You really feel the hustle in Bombay. Whereas in Delhi, things are a lot more chilled out. People are much more laid back. So I feel that, the discerning palate is more so in Delhi. That being said, the restaurants in Bombay today, they are above Delhi restaurants. Delhi's not, evolved its restaurant culture, its restaurant scene, just how Bombay and Goa, specifically Goa, has. In the last 5 years, Goa's, you get some of the finest restaurants of the country in Goa. But I feel that Bombay has overtaken Goa.
I kind of believe what you say because, Delhi menus, if you see now, although they'll be spending a lot on the interiors and the vibe and stuff, the menus look very cut, copy, paste, man. I mean,
there is a lot of cut, copy, paste.
Like 80% of the menu will be the same. They'll have those hummus platters and, the same kind of shit going on everywhere.
Yeah.
I truly believe that people are not really passionate about serving food. Probably they are passionate about hosting and probably making it a business.
Yeah.
But they're not really passionate about creating experiences.
Yeah.
Do you feel it too?
No, there's some great restaurants in Delhi where, food is the primary focus. You've got some phenomenal chefs here. You've got, Jamsheed Hanisha, you've got Rahul Kainaz, you've got some fantastic chefs doing really, really great stuff.
What is your 5 best restaurants which you love in Delhi?
In Delhi, for some odd reason, for my entire life we've just been going to TK's. That TK
Yeah.
Sunday brunch with my
it's
kids.
amazing.
They have such a great time.
Even the noise of the night.
Exactly.
That kind of it's meditating.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. I don't know. I love going there. I do so many of my meetings at Perch. It's just a fantastic place to go and every time they see me early morning, they're like, "What's up? Who are you meeting today?" Yeah, so I do a lot of my stuff I love going to Perch. There's a great rooftop bar in GK called Stranger. They've just opened an outpost here in Vasant Vihar. I love going there. It's just so cool, so casual, great people around, great drinks. Love going there. It depends on my mood. I'm always a sucker for Royal China. It's been there forever. I love going there. What else? These are 4 that I've named. 5th, I don't want to name any of my own, obviously, but these are the. I recently went to El Deco. They've got some great new restaurants
fabulous,
there.
man.
Yeah, Kame, Latoya, some really nice restaurants. Arts. Some really nice products have come in. That gives Bombay a bit of run for their money, you know. It's a great establishment. You've got Piano Man that just have, it's one of the nicest places.
It's beautiful. I
It's
love
so
I love
nice.
the vibe of that place as well.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, for people to understand the restaurant culture and to attract people, if I come to PCO, I see a certain kind of people. If I go to some other restaurant, there's a certain kind of people. How does it's like bees, honey attracts the right bees, or it's like that you market yourself in a way that people find it and they want to go there? How does that work?
So it's all the subliminal messaging that you give customers that attracts a certain amount of a certain type of customer. So at PCO we never play Bollywood music, for instance. So people who are into Bollywood music, they know not to come here. We play upstairs, we play only jazz. We have for the past 13 years. So people know, okay, so at PCO, my clientele upstairs is also very different from my clientele downstairs. Downstairs is more thumpy. You've got hip hop. You've got a lot of cool music playing, and depends on during a night here. I probably keep going up and down because sometimes I want that and sometimes I want this. And throughout the evening, I've spent equal amounts of times at both places. It's great. There's something for everyone here.
Yeah.
So I think it's the product determines who it pulls, basically.
Yeah, I have spent so many nights here, man, like dancing away till like late at night till early mornings, and then if you want to have a quality conversation, then go up, have a good conversation, and come down again.
Exactly.
I think it's a perfect place of having people to do conversation, because sometimes you don't want to scream in someone's ear all
Correct.
night and like, hey, what's up, and you talking, and it gets tiring.
Very
at
tiring.
point in time. You want
Exactly.
to have like a little place where the music is not so loud and you can actually have an interaction there.
Correct.
Which I'm sure PCO is your favorite baby, and because it's close to your heart, it was your first project. But which is your favorite restaurant out of all the 21 babies that you have now?
I think Jamun Goa has a very special place in my heart. I just, my house in Goa is just down the road from there. PCO, of course, this has a very special place in my heart. Yeah, it just depends. Also on my mood, there could be times I'm just craving a great lunch at Ping's,
Yeah.
for instance. So it totally depends on my mood. But I think PCO Delhi and Jamun Goa have very special places in my heart.
Sweets. People who trying to get into this business and they, let's say, hypothetical situation, they want to open something with you, they want to open a SAZ or a Jamun, what kind of investments do they look at, and what kind of expectations they should be they should have, and what they should prepare for?
So, today to open a new restaurant, of course, it depends on the cuisine, it depends on the size of the restaurant, the scale of the restaurant. But you could take an average, you'd need about 4.5 crores to launch a restaurant today. A decent sized one with about 70, 80 covers. You'd need around 4.5 crores. Of course, you've got huge amounts that you need to pay in rental deposits. You've got huge amounts of, fit out costs today. You have to make your F&B establishment look great. Looks play such an important part in the success of a restaurant. So you just have to factor in all these things. And yeah, I think the rule stays about the same. 2.5 years to get break even.
All right, and this includes your working capital as well, and
Of
all
course,
that.
yeah.
It does.
Includes working
And how much is that? Like, for you take it for 3 months, 6 months, 8
Well,
months?
generally you should take it for around 2 months, because in 2 months' time you better start making money.
Yeah.
And yeah, once you are in the green, then you need to just keep at it and make sure that your quality does not slip at all. That's how you sustain, and increase the green.
Do you plan to take like your Indian cocktail week international, make it an international cocktail week?
Yeah, we have had some chats about this with some other great friends of mine who own cocktail weeks from around the world. And I think it would be fun to do, a great worldwide cocktail week. That would be super cool.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Like a place like Mykonos or Ibiza or something
Or
like
maybe
that.
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Dubai would be awesome.
Yeah.
So how many brands and how many companies, let's say, you have in an India Cocktail Week? Like, how many different experiences do you have
We
there?
get on average maybe around 35 brands taking part in India Cocktail Week. And yeah, each set up their own experiences and they get to do different activations during the week. So yeah, it's on average about 35.
Coming back to your personal life, how you balance out with your health, with your work, everything. How do you think that, where do you want to take this? Like, do you think you can really expand more, open like 50, 100 more restaurants, or you would like to take it slow after a while?
So, luckily we don't have any investors breathing down our throats saying, nah, do 20 more, We just, any good opportunity that comes, we evaluate it. And yeah, if we want to do it, then we do it.
Do you think you would like your son and your children to be part of the business as well?
That's up to them. I'm never going to force this business upon them. I know how hard I've had to work at this business. I wouldn't want it for, even my enemy. But no, that's not true. As I said earlier, there's so much joy that you get out of it. But I'd really like for them to create their own path. I'd really like for them to do whatever that they're interested in doing. If they want to go into art, be a painter, a sculptor, I'd, love that. If they want to go into drama, acting, I'd love that. If they want to go into singing, if they want to be a lawyer or a doctor, I'd love it. Whatever they want to do. My parents were very nice. They allowed me to do whatever I wanted to do, and I'll do the same with my kids.
Were your parents, tell me about your background. You were in American school.
Yeah.
How did you land up there? And was American school somewhere kind of putting in the bubble and not good when you came out to do business in India? Because that's a very separate world, right?
Yeah.
Because you have international students. It's not like you're dealing with like kids from Delhi and from around. How was your background like?
So, luckily, well, my entire life I've lived in, 8 different countries my entire life. My dad was a corporate honcho. Every 3 years, we had to move around for new country, new city, new friends, and most of my life. So luckily, when I was in Delhi from kindergarten till fourth and a half grade or almost fifth grade, I was at Sri Ram. So I've got some friends from there. And then I moved abroad, South Africa, Philippines, Budapest, all over the world, Singapore, moved all across the world. And then when I moved back, because I'd been educated in international schools and American school systems, when I moved back, it was just natural that I joined the American school so that I could do the AP program and get some college credits and stuff like that. Then I went abroad for college. I went to Indiana University. So I didn't really have a clue of how things actually function in India. And it was a hard reality when I chose to, right after college, I chose to move back and get into, start doing business on my own. And when I set up my first business, Kerala Ayurveda, it was really, I was just trying to understand, okay, this is how business is conducted in India.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to do that. Luckily, I spent my time learning the landscape and all that before I jumped into hardcore stuff like restaurants.
So it's been like I'm sure you have to reinvent yourself and reset your values and see like how to really work in this Indian environment. It's not easy, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so then ICW happened, then COVID came, right? And then COVID, you were sitting at home, and then you thought of a new baby. Tell me about your COVID baby. How did that come into existence?
So, COVID, I think lockdown started maybe around the 20th of March, and we're exactly 5 years, just sitting here 5 years later. But around the 20th of March, 2020 is when COVID lockdown came about. And I started automatically thinking, okay, what can I do? I need a business where if lockdowns happen, I can get into, I have money coming in. All my businesses then were shut. All my restaurants were shut. India Cocktail Week was on sabbatical. There was no money coming in. So that's when I came up.
Did you lose a lot of money back
During
then?
COVID, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
could relate. It was tough time for people like us, man. It was really tough times. But we took it, I think, a day at a time, try to just figure out, okay, how best to go about this and just try to keep busy. That's when, we had the idea, okay, agave grows in India. Why not make, a premium agave spirit and India's first aged premium agave spirit?
Why was anybody else not doing agave till now if it was freely growing?
I think the market has always been such a heavy whiskey, rum, brandy dominated market, dark spirits. I don't think anyone really thought that there'd be much of a business in this. Luckily, we managed to do it, and recently, I think maybe about 9-10 months ago, Diageo came on board, and when it's great validation, the largest liquor company of the world invests in your little startup, it really, and the amount of help that I get from them is amazing. Great partners to have.
Tell me who came up with the name.
My sister came up with Pistola. We always wanted something that would just easy to say, just come off the tip of your tongue, and something cool as well. And that's when she came up with Pistola, and as soon as she did, we were like, okay, this has legs. This is great. This could be very big. This could be very cool.
Yeah. So, tell me, like, of course, you don't come with a background of tequila tasting and tequila manufacturing. How difficult was it to like come up with the product?
It's extremely difficult. I sat and I did courses. I was just sitting and studying for a lot of initial parts of lockdown. Just watch a lot of videos. Luckily, today there's so much information available online. So I did courses and just self-taught myself a lot. and that's how ended up doing it.
Superb, man. So, where is Pistola now? Like, what kind of quantities? Where all in India are you serving it? Are you pan India now, or are you looking at some other locations? Are you going international? Where is it going?
We're available in 8 different states in India. We're available in Goa, where it's produced, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Haryana, Delhi, Assam, West Bengal, and Rajasthan. And we're available in 3 international countries in Singapore, in Thailand, and in the United States. We are entering Northern Europe soon. In fact, our product has reached, it should be cleared and into our distributor's warehouse in the next 3 days. Then we'll be able to supply to Denmark, Norway, Sweden. We'll be able to supply to Germany, which is a huge market, France, Austria. So yeah, we're hitting Northern Europe. In talks with one of the best companies in the UK, in talks with a company in China, in talks with a company in Indonesia. Hopefully, we'll be bringing it across the world.
That's amazing, man. Best of luck for that.
Thank you.
With time, of course, these 15 years from your journey from PCO to Pistola, long journey with, I think, plethora of experiences. How has your life philosophy changed? Like life philosophy when you grew in business, life philosophy when you had children. Do you think it's the same or is different? And how do you see life as?
I've always thought of life the same way, where you just, you want to maximize what you can out of life. You want to, you only live once, and you don't want to, you want to experience everything in life. You want to, everyone has certain boundaries, and within those boundaries, you want to experience life. And I never want to, when I am on my deathbed, I don't want to have any regrets. What changes is how you approach things. I think since having kids, my approach has been very different. I've become much more conservative in nature.
Not taking that much risk, you mean?
Yeah, I am a little risk averse today as compared to what I was. I was, I'd love to take risks earlier on, and today that's changed a lot. But what you want out of life stays the same. It's just how you approach life changes.
If you were, let's say you're stuck on an island and not talking about Pistola, and you have to take one cocktail with you, what would that be?
Good question. Maybe a mezcal Negroni.
All right, that's a good choice, man. And what music will you take? Like just one song if you have to take, and you'll know you'll be forever be stuck on this island.
Can I Get It by Jay-Z?
Nice, nice. I think hip hop has been like the cornerstone of our lives, man. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that no matter how much techno comes in and house comes in, I think that will always stay with me at least. Is
Yeah.
it the same for you
Same
as
for
well?
me, absolutely, yeah.
Tell me, where's your vision? Where do you where do you want to see yourself in 10, 15, 20 years?
You know, just maybe doing more in F&B and hospitality, and like I've got 3 different verticals, all very different. I'm in liquor, I'm in restaurants and bars, and I'm in events. Maybe some new things in F&B. I like the F&B space. I understand it. Or maybe even not in F&B. Maybe who knows, real estate development. I don't know. Life ideas come to you just like that, and then you start working on it and putting your ideas onto business plans, and then seeing how to execute those business plans. So I have no idea. Everything I do, I know for a fact one thing is there. I'll always have fun, because I think when you work and you're not having fun, that
not
you're
gonna work.
wasting your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's the one thing I'm very opposed to.
I think that's a good point. Tell me about your family. Like, how supportive are there when you come up with like ideas? Like, okay, now I want to do India Cocktail Week. Okay, now I want to do tequila. How open are they, and how supportive have they been?
Oh, I think they're extremely supportive. If it wasn't for them, you know, God knows what I'd be
Isn't
doing.
that like for example, your dad was like into corporate sector. Corporate people are mostly very risk averse, and they're very cynic about getting into business and taking risk. Still, you think that they were very open to when it came to you?
Absolutely. You know, a good idea is a good idea at the end of the day. And you know, luckily I've got a great, you know, relationship with my parents where I just explain, okay, this is my business idea, and they help me refine it. They help me, you know, make it better. And I work with my sister. So you know, when it's my parents, both their kids saying, okay, we want to do this now, we want to do this now, we want to do this now. I don't think they have much of a say, to be very honest. But
Yeah.
at the same time, yeah, we get a lot of great guidance from both my parents, and yeah, it just helps us, you know, achieve all our milestones.
Bro, I'm so happy for you. I've seen you grow professionally for all these years. I was at your opening of PCO, to your, I don't know how many restaurants. I was at your wedding, now here, and you know, just the whole flashback of these 13 to 15 years, it really makes me smile that how far you have come.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't see this journey in a lot of people. You know, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of ambition because, like you said, PCO from the day one it was successful. Some people like, okay, PCO is successful. I don't need to do like, no, you know, try my hands in 20 different things. Let's just stick to this, or let's make 3 more PCOs around
Yeah.
India. It's good to have you, brother. I'm sure people will be really inspired, and good we spoke about how to start a restaurant, how to start a business. I'm sure people will really understand, and before making these wrong moves, they can really understand what to do and how to start. Take care, brother.
I'm
It
so
was good
glad.
to have, and best of luck for upcoming projects.
Thank you so much.